What's up guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the differences in the new Defender series case made by Otterbox for the new iPad and the previous generation for the iPad 2. So let's get started. Welcome back everyone, Aaron here from aaronsiphonehelp.com. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at the differences that Otterbox implemented into their third generation new iPad case. On the right here we have the iPad 2 and on the left we have the new iPad. And the first thing we can see is that the shield stands are different. They both have the rubber feet at the bottom, both have the Otterbox logo. But you can tell this one's a little more bulky on the new iPad. It does look like it protects the screen a little more. You can tell on the iPad 2 that the hard shell screen protector does not come all the way fully down and protect the screen all the way. That was one thing that I didn't really like about the second generation case. I did kind of like how the case looked a little different and was really lightweight, but I didn't really like how they gave up the protection for the lightweight and new look. Now taking a look at the screen shield for the new iPad, we can see that it does come all the way up to the top and all the way down to the bottom, so it does protect the home button fully and does come all the way up to the camera. It also comes all the way fully protecting the sides of the bezel. Judging on just the protection of the new hard shells for each of the iPads, I would have to say that the new iPad has a better protection level and percentage rate for drops and spills, stuff like that, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and take off the hard shell shields now and see the differences in there. And one thing to note is when I did take off the front shell of the new iPad case, it did initiate the wake feature, which is something new to the Defender series case, which I think is pretty awesome. They did implement magnets just like the smart cover feature has. So we'll get into that here in a second. Now taking a look at the shield stand for the iPad 2, we can see that it does have this nice spring up stand that pops up really easily, and it does support a 90-degree and 45-degree viewing angle. All that does is fold up simply like that, and you fold it right back down to put it away. One thing to mention is if you're trying to use your iPad 2 in portrait mode, it is a little bit hard to keep it on the stand. It's not impossible, but it's a little harder to keep it on the stand itself, where in landscape mode it is perfect for landscape mode, but once again in portrait mode it is not the best. Where on the new iPad they did add an extra rubber foot to support the portrait mode. So let's take a look at how the iPad 2 sits inside of the shield stand. And the first angle that I have it in here is the 90-degree angle, which does sit up very nicely. It is very sturdy. It's not going to fall over at all. And this 90-degree angle is perfect for viewing movies and YouTube videos, etc. We have the iPad 2 on our 45-degree angle, which is perfect for typing and taking notes if perhaps you're at school or in a meeting. Once again, this is in the 45-degree angle, which is perfect for typing and taking notes, etc. Let's go ahead and talk about the shield stand for the new iPad. Now we have the Otterbox logo down here at the bottom, which is appropriately where it should be, down here at the bottom. One thing to note is that there is a sleep-wake feature implemented with magnets on the new iPad shield cover, but it does not work with the Otterbox logo facing down. I don't know if Otterbox did that on purpose or if it's a flaw by the manufacturing company. So in order to implement the sleep-wake feature, you're going to need to turn the stand around and put the Otterbox logo actually upside down on the top. Let's go ahead and take this off. I do have it down here at the bottom, so it is not going to implement the sleep-wake feature. Now I'm going to show you what you need to do on the shield stand to implement the sleep-wake feature. Now you can see the Otterbox logo is down there at the bottom and the new iPad is off. Go ahead and put the shield stand on. Now we have the Otterbox logo once again at the bottom, so it will not implement the sleep-wake feature. As you can see there, it did not turn on. So let's go ahead and flip it around. Now the Otterbox logo is up at the top. Let's go ahead and put it down. Now when I remove the shield stand from the case, it will initiate the sleep-wake feature while the Otterbox logo is upside down only. Let's go ahead and try it out. And you can see there that it did initiate the sleep-wake feature, so that is a nice addition to the third generation Otterbox case. Put back on the shield stand and you will see that the magnets will initiate the sleep mode. Taking a look at the inside of the shield stand, we still have this nice plastic implementation of a stand. It easily folds out and folds right back in. You can see the two magnets here built in to initiate the sleep-wake feature, which is a new feature on the third generation. We have 4 rubber feet implemented on the inside. We also have this piece of rubber up here, and they also built the case a little bit back more so that portrait mode will work perfect on this case. So now we have the new iPad in a 45-degree angle, and you can see that the case does hold up very nicely. Let's go ahead and bring out the iPad 2 and set it up the same way. Now you can see we have the stands open and both of the iPads in a 45-degree angle on the shield stand. The iPad 2 seems to be more at a 90-degree angle, where the new iPad seems to be more at possibly an 80-degree angle. Now we have both iPads in the 45-degree angle, and the Otterbox did not change the dimension and height on that. Now that we've taken a look at the specs of the shield stands, let's go ahead and take a look at the case itself. Now, taking a look around the iPad 2 case, you can see that the bezel is not completely protected. It does expose the bezel quite a bit. On the bottom, the bezel is almost completely exposed, as well as on the top. On the sides, it does cover the bezel, I'd say about half the distance of the bezel. Now up on the top, the front VGA camera is completely exposed with absolutely no covering. The home button is covered, and pretty much that's all that's covered on the front is the home button. Now taking a look at the case for the new iPad, you can see that the bezel is almost completely protected. You can see when we turn on the iPad 2 how much is actually exposed. You can see that the whole bezel is exposed on the top and the bottom, and about half of the bezel on the sides. Now the big difference is there's no screen protector on the second generation Otterbox Defender Series case. They do provide a screen protector inside of the package, but it is not installed and does not come on the actual case itself. That was probably one of the biggest complaints about this case, is that it did not have a built-in screen protector. So let's move over to the new iPad. Now the new iPad does have a built-in screen protector. The demand for this case was really high. Once again, a built-in screen protector on the new iPad, no screen protector built in on the iPad 2. Now the bezel is almost completely covered on the new iPad. It comes up and barely leaves just enough to tell that there is a bezel on the screen. The VGA front-facing camera and the ambient light sensor has a very nice cutout for it. The home button is completely covered and meets up with the bezel. The rubber silicone is very nicely attached to the outer shell. I can tell that the silicone is built a lot better on the new iPad than it is on the iPad 2 case. The iPad 2 case seems very flimsy, and it just doesn't seem very durable. Where on the new iPad, they definitely implemented more rubber silicone on there, and it does feel way more protective. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the cases now, starting off with the iPad 2 case. Now we can see that the Apple logo is displayed, but they did implement a misty looking background, which I didn't really like. You couldn't really see the Apple that clear. Where on the new iPad, you can hardly tell that there is a screen protector there, but there is a screen protector over the Apple logo, which does protect the logo itself to ensure no scratches. The Otterbox logo is right here on the right hand side on the iPad 2, where it is on the lower bottom half on the new iPad. The camera hole is cut out very nicely here on the back, where we can see that the camera hole is a little bigger on the back of the new iPad. All the ports are covered very nicely on both generation models. Now taking a look down here at the speaker, we can see that the actual speaker grill itself is covered with this plastic piece, but it is actually open down here at the bottom. And we can see on the new iPad, instead of the clear that there is on the iPad 2, on the back of the new iPad we have this very hard plastic over the speaker that does seem very protective. And I think the only complaint that I have about the third generation new iPad Defender Series case is that it does not have a dock door like this does. So on the iPad 2, you can see here that it has a very big opening back here. Your 30-pin dock connector opens up very easily back here, just like this. our 30-pin dock connector does open very easily back here as well. But we can also see that back here, this does open up so that you can dock your iPad to. This was a feature that I thought was very nice for Otterbox to implement, seeing the many steps that it takes to actually install the iPad into this case. Not having to take apart and put back the case back on again every time that you wanted to dock the iPad was very nice and a very handy feature on the iPad too. So you can see here that there is no dock port, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what Otterbox chose to go with on their 3rd generation. So I've brought in my other new iPads, so now I have both new iPads here. And I have these side by side, that way you can take a look at the way the Retina display looks with and without the screen protector. So let's go ahead and take a look. First off, that's how the home screen looks. And now we're taking a look at the Retina display on our launch screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the difference with some photos. Now the brightness is the same on both. Let's go ahead and take a look at some video. And we can see there that the screen looks very nice on both. It really comes down to whether you want to protect your screen. People don't want the extra bulkiness, and some people don't mind the bulkiness to protect their product. Let's go ahead and play my most recent uploaded video. That was the network speed test challenge. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's pretty amazing to see the difference between the Verizon and AT&T model. Aaron here for iPhoneHelp.com. I grabbed both of these models, that way we can do a comparison video and figure out once and for all who is the tops that AT&T. So you guys be the judge. This has been the comparison of the Otterbox Defender Series case for the 2nd and 3rd generation Apple iPad. Thanks for tuning in. If this video helped you out, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit that subscribe button above. It will notify you of my unboxings and reviews, as well as more videos just like this. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think about the Defender Series case made by Otterbox for the 2nd and 3rd generation iPad. Is it something that you guys are going to pick up? Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.